What up, homies? David Rivera from Rivera Media here to show you how I do things so you can do them better. You probably can't really see it, but I'm wearing my Ocho the Cat shirt. Got my Rivera Media logo on the side. Today I'm going to give you an overview of how I designed the shirt that I'm wearing right now. But before we do that, turn the volume up. Okay, so I knew I wanted to draw a cat. I started out just scribbling, and I just, I had the idea of like a cartoon cat. I had this joke in my head that I was thinking about. Well, there's a couple of jokes. The first one was, where do cats go when all 9 lives are up? The answer is purgatory. What's the difference between a frog and a cat? A cat has 9 lives, but a frog croaks every night. Anyways, as you can see, I came up with the initial concept of a ghost cat for that reason. Didn't want it to be anything like, morbid or scary or weird, but I figured a cat supposedly has 9 lives, so what happens to the other lives, because it's not as if the cat just dies, these are lives, kind of like Doctor Who or like a Cat's a Time Lord or something like that. So I don't know, the logic was there at the time, it escapes me. But anyway, so I started sketching out the concept, and once I decided where I wanted to go with it, I decided to use a more pencil textured brush, and I'm not really sure at this point what I wanted. I just knew I wanted a ghost cat, so I started laying it out, scribble. Then I decided, it'd be cool is if this 8th cat life was the part of the cat that enjoyed music. So I put headphones on him. I figured he was just vibing out, maybe that's why he died in the first place, listening to too much music, not paying attention to his surroundings, and something catastrophic happened, not dogastrophic as I always tell my cats. Yeah. An interesting side note, as a previous job, I used to design headphones, so drawing the headphones was like a pretty quick and easy process because I'm used to that after multiple years of designing actual headphones. So anywho, yeah, this cat, pretty simple, sketching him out, getting the vibe. He's jamming to some music, and I don't really know what kind of music he would be listening to, but at the end of the video, I guess if you can see what he looks like, and you can tell me in the comments what would you think he'd be listening to. That'd be interesting to know what you think the cat has on his headphones. They're of course Bluetooth wireless headphones. His name, I decided at that point, would be Ocho, which is Spanish for 8. He's the 8th life, so I just like the way the 8 looks on his stomach. Kind of like a Care Bear type of thing. Each one I imagine would have their own number assigned to them on their stomachs. Yeah, that's the concept there. Yeah, I just wanted to do a cool cat t-shirt design, so keeping that in mind, I started trying to figure out basically how is he going to be present on this shirt. I mean, he could just be floating there, which might work, but I'm also going to need to put a background or some way to incorporate him in a design that looks like it should be on a t-shirt. In the back of my head at this point, I'm thinking about what will be around him. What kind of environment is he in? Is he going to be centered on the shirt, or is he going to be like on the sleeve, or is he going to be on the back, or the front? At this point, I'm just trying to figure out what would look cool. In my head, that's what's going on as I'm drawing. Also, listening to music of my own, but I won't tell you what I was listening to because I don't want to influence what your opinion of what Ocho the cat would be listening to is. Again, let me know what Ocho's listening to in your mind. So right here, I'm just kind of making his tail end a little wispy because he is a ghost. So then when I'm trying to decide what to put around him, I was like, oh, maybe other little dead things that died with him. I was like, probably behind him I could put a little fish, and I was like, you know what, that would probably look better around him or next to him, like they're coming from the same source, like they died at the same time or something. He's one of 9, so the fish unfortunately is one of 1, so he's just dead. He's just a ghost. He's no longer vibing like Ocho is. And also I didn't really remember at the time, or nor did I have reference of how to draw a fish, but I was eating goldfish crackers, so hence the shape, I guess. The snack that smiles back but in this case he's dead, so he's not a smiling snack. So I'm like thinking, yeah, that fits. I mean, aesthetically it's going around his hand, creating a cool little tangent there that kind of like funnels downwards, and I just needed something else that a cat would probably have killed aside from a fish, and to put on the other side, and decided that would be a bird, because if you're a cat owner, you know that cats love to attack birds. I mean, we don't let our cats out, but I had a friend who, I mean, we all have friends that, you know, have their stories, but this friend in particular had a cat that was mainly an indoor-outdoor cat, and he came home one day after leaving his cat outside while he was at work. The cat broke into his restroom window to get back into the house, so he was wondering how the cat got back into the house, and he was looking around and he saw the restroom window was broken, and in the bathtub of the restroom he saw a very dramatic scene of feathers everywhere, like his cat had basically destroyed a bird and left it in the bathtub, like as a gift for him, I guess, so that, you know, he wouldn't lock him out anymore, lock the cat out anymore. I don't know, cats are weird like that. They always like to leave gifts that, you know, is sweet for them but can be gruesome for us to see. So anyways, that's why there's a bird down there. And if you saw a little while ago, I tried drawing a gravestone behind them, like maybe they were buried, but that didn't look good aesthetically, so I deleted that. So I decided he is a ghost. He's probably going to be somewhere around the blue spectrum. Let's try that out. And then I'm using the pencil texture brush still. I just made it larger. You know, here I'm experimenting with what color scheme I want to use. So this isn't actually going to be how the final is. It's just like, okay, let's create an outline and see what that looks like on black, because I knew the shirt was going to be black. So again, whenever you're designing a shirt or a print or stickers or something like that, you know, always think about the color, or, you know, the substrate, the material, the format that your drawing is going to be on, and design accordingly. Or you can do like I do and try to draw something that will look cool on a shirt and then just adapt it to other media. There's actually stickers that I made from this as well. I don't think I made it available as a print. Yeah, it works on hoodies, t-shirts, stickers, and probably could be used on other stuff too. I think I have it on a phone case as well, so, you know, you can get all those on my website if you are so inclined, riveramedia.com, or Rivera Media on all platforms. I was playing around with like, how is he gonna glow? Is he gonna be an outline? I decided on a solid white outline because that just looks cool to me at this point, at least. I applied that to a group, and I put all the layers in the group, the drawing layer, the color layer, inside a group, and then I added a stroke to that, a white stroke. Now I'm adding another layer into that group on top of the color and creating a secondary color, which I'm using for obviously the fish and the bird's beak. So I have my line art, and then I have my flat color blue, and then I have my other color, which is orange at this point, and those are all in a group that has a stroke around it. I turned off the stroke for now so I could experiment with the background. And I wanted there to be like something big, and like maybe the moon, so I figured, yeah, the moon behind him seems like it would be appropriate, something round, you know, something a little bit more like classic cartoon cat, you know, crying against the moon type of thing. Not Ocho's vibing. So, you know, Ocho's not living his best life, but he's living his best afterlife. So here I am trying to color the line work, maybe experimenting with the colors by using hue saturation adjustment layer that helped me decide that I liked that color better. So I merged that adjustment layer to the color layer that was originally orange, and then I used that color to color his 8 and color his nose as well. Here I have another layer that I had made specifically for highlights using the pencil texture brush, just adding some highlights to the area that would be hit by the light coming from the moon, I guess. It doesn't have to be scientifically accurate, of course, but, you know, it just looks like it's coming from a similar source. So instead of the moon, I decided maybe something like a skull might work. I like that color that was used in the background. I wasn't too sure about the moon. Maybe something that was more spooky would would look better, but unfortunately, you know, not all experiments pan out. I like the skull, but it just doesn't work with Ocho. It just didn't seem like it seemed like it's too much for a shirt, and yeah, it doesn't work. So scrap that idea, went back to the moon, but I wanted the moon to look like it was hand drawn, so using the pencil texture brush, went around the edges and gave it that texture that matched the other elements. I cleared the stroke off of the group because I just, you know, it didn't look right around the whole thing. So what I'm doing here is drawing some extra little fish to, you know, give it a more implied motion, maybe some visual interest, but I didn't like the placement of them. So I decided also these, since they are not ghosts, they should be, you know, little fish carcasses, little bones, which is a classic thing to include with a cartoon cat. Real simplified, keeping the texture, pencil texture brush. It's all about love, so Ocho's hearing a song that, you know, brings back a better time for him, so he's thinking about love. So I include a heart, because a heart kind of softens any kind of grim looking image anyways. You know, and a cat with a bunch of dead little bodies around him, obviously you want to soften that up a bit. It's not gruesome, it's not scary, it's about life, it's about love. So yeah, Ocho's vibing to some really good music that he loves. So here I'm messing with the text of his name. Figured that would go good. I was using the font Gotham because I had created an image of Batman before that, and you know, Batman lives in Gotham, which, as my wife says, is Gotham. Which I thought was a really cool font, but since I had used it, I wanted Ocho to have a different font that was a little bit more playful and didn't look like my previous work. So I stumbled upon one that I had installed called Cable, I believe it is, or Cabell, or Cabell. It's Kabel. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Cable. So yeah, I dig that. Now I'm trying to add music notes, but I realized pretty quickly that my music note placement sucked and I don't know how to draw music notes, so I erased them and started over, because placement helps all your elements. If you don't like it, then there's probably something wrong with it. Whenever you're designing a shirt, you got to think about how it's going to look overall, how everything's going to look together, you know, the big picture. Unfortunately, a lot of the colors I used were in the RGB range, but not in the CMYK range. So try to remember when designing a t-shirt to use printable colors. Most everything that's physically printed is going to be in CMYK. So if you use RGB colors, the results are going to vary. Forgot about that with this design, but luckily the CMYK version was acceptable. So it ended up looking pretty good on the shirt and the stickers. If you want more info on that, go ahead and leave a comment. So of course I had my signature and line everything up so it's aesthetically pleasing, and that was it. That was pretty much all the thought that went into this one. Just kind of, you know, went with the flow and then it came out. So yeah, now that you know how I did it, I look forward to seeing you do it better. Just don't copy mine. Let me know what you come up with, and let me know what you think Ocho is listening to. Remember, don't be a stranger, just be strange. I'll catch you in the next one, homies. Peace.